Thank you very much, fellow Kenyans. Good afternoon from wherever you are. Good morning, good evening. This is Honorable Babu Owino, Member of Parliament, Embakasi East Constituency, and your favorite son. Today's lesson, we are going to deal with biology. And in biology, we will handle different topics. But today, we will just handle one topic, a topic on genetics. And in the subsequent topics, we'll be handling what may also interest you. I know so many people are waiting for a topic on probably reproduction, also studying other organs, and we shall be handling that. I know we decided to come up with a program in line, in tandem with what the Cabinet Secretary Education, Professor George Albert Magoha Omore, said. He said that actually the schools will reopen in next year. So we've decided to create a platform where our students will be getting serious contents. And the platform is going to be an application and a website where students will download from their phones, and a website where they will get sufficient content that will help them pass their examination, that is the KCSE. We shall be handling from Form 1 work to Form 4. And we'll also decide to go to the Standard 7 and Standard 8 if need be, and also the university students, if need be. So today's lesson, we are going to introduce a teacher, that is Madam Josephine. Madam Josephine is going to handle our topic on genetics, biology. Hope you will enjoy, and kindly stay tuned till the end of the lesson. Karibu sana, Madam Josephine.
Thank you. Good afternoon, students. As you have heard, my name is Josephine. Today, I'll be your teacher for biology. I'll teach genetics. Welcome. Genetics. Class, I think this is not your first time to hear about the word genetics. You heard this one in Form 1. How do we define genetics? Genetics is a branch of biology that deals with the study of variation and inheritance. So genetics is a branch of biology that deals with the study of variation and inheritance. In living organisms have a number of variations, and genetics tries to explain how these variations come about. Some of the variations that are seen in organisms, you know them. If you look at yourself, at your brother or your sister, you can see that you have some features in common. Those ones are due to what you inherited from your parents. So variations are, we can define variation and inheritance. These are the two terms that comes in when you are defining the term genetic. So we can define the two terms. So we can start with inheritance. When you talk of inheritance, I know you know what we are, this one refers to. Inheritance is the transmission of characteristics from parents to offspring. This one is the transmission of characteristics genetically from parents to offsprings. So inheritance, we refer to the transmission of those characteristics from parents to offspring. What are some of these characteristics which are transmitted from parents to offspring? If you look at the members of a family, you will note that they have some different characteristics like the shape of the nose, the skin color. Some are light colored, others are dark colored, others are very dark in the family. You can also look at the size of the body, the height of the individuals. All these lies under characteristics, and those characteristics are genetically transmitted from parents to offspring. And these ones are done through factors we call hereditary factors. Hereditary factors are the ones that transmit the characteristics from the parents to the offsprings. Hereditary characteristics are also referred to as genes. So every characteristic that an organism has is due to the hereditary factors that the individual has inherited from the father or the mother. So hereditary factors transmit these characteristics from parents to offsprings. And then these characteristics are transmitted through reproduction. So through reproduction, the inherited characteristics are transmitted from parents to offspring. So they are transmitted from parents to offspring. So when you go through genetics, this one, it will try to explain why organisms differ from one another, and at the same time shows the similarities between the organisms. So genetics will explain all that. It will explain why organisms differ, why organisms are the same. So in our family, although the organisms are from the same mother or from the same father, they might have slight differences, or they might have other characteristics that are the same. And this one can be explained using genes. The genes are the ones that transmit the inherited characteristics, and this one is done through reproduction. So through reproduction, these characteristics are transmitted. So some of the characteristics we are talking about that are transmitted from parents to offspring, as we are saying, include what? Examples of inherited characteristics include one, as I've said, height. Your height, my height, we got this one from our parents. How? The mother, the father, each gave out half of the genes for height. Half from the mother, half from the father. So another characteristics could be the skin color. All the skin color. I know some of you are wondering, why am I so dark and my two parents are brown? They are light colored. This is because the two parents, although they are light colored, they have half of the genes for dark color, and that's why you are the way you are. You might ask yourself, why am I too short and my two parents are very what? Tall. This is because your parents have the genes for shortness, and you have inherited the two genes for shortness, and that's why you are short. Another example is like what? 3. Weight. Weight. Another example is like blood groups. Blood groups. In blood groups, an individual can either have blood group A, B, AB, or O. Another example is like 4. The presence of air in the nose or in the pinna of the ear. presence of hair in the nose. Some individuals have very long hairs in the nose, while others do not. Some individuals have hairs in the pinna of the ear, while others do not. That's also another characteristic. We also have the length of fingers. The length of fingers are other characteristics that we can get from our parents. We also have the earlobes. Some individuals have free earlobes, while others have attached earlobes. So all these are examples of those inherited characteristics in human beings. We still have the same characteristics in plants, inherited characteristics in plants. Examples of inherited characteristics in plants. Examples of inherited characteristics in plant include, like 1, the size of leaves. The size of leaves. Leaves are of different sizes in plants. We also have the size of fruits and seeds. Size of fruits and seeds. We still have 3, the size of internodes of the stem. The size of internodes of the stems. 4, we still have the type of leaves, types of leaves. And the type of leaves, we saw that in Form 1, we have 2 types of leaves, compound leaves and symbol leaves. We still have the type of venation in leaves. Types of venation in leaves. Under venation, we have the 2 types of venation, net veined leaves, and we also have parallel veined leaves. So those are some of the examples of inherited characteristics in plants. So all these characteristics, as I've said, they are transmitted through hereditary factors. So we have seen this. All these characteristics we have listed down, they are transmitted through hereditary factors, which are also referred to as genes. So when organisms reproduce, the offsprings might resemble the parents, while others might be slightly different from the parents. And all these characteristics are influenced by hereditary factors, and their outward expression is also influenced by environment. So that's all about inheritance. We still have the other concept as variation. So you can go through the concepts of variation. So we have said that variation this is how we define variation. Variations are observable characteristics, that is those that you can see from outside, and non-observable characteristics that are shown in an individual. So variation refers to observable and non-observable characteristics among organisms that are shown in an organism. And then variations in human beings, we've listed some of them in the inherited characteristics, but you can also do them again. Before that, I can write the definition for this. Variation is the variation refers to the observable. I've said these ones are the ones you can see from outside, and non-observable characteristics. The observable and non-observable characteristics among living organisms. So, if you look at the examples of the inherited characteristics we've gone through, you can try to see that they can be grouped into two. That is, those variations that have distinct groups, but they have no intermediates, like sex. When you talk about sex, you're either male or female, and there are those others that show a wide range of differences. So this will give us two types of variation. So we can see the two types of variation. So among these characteristics, we have two types of variation. And the types include, one, continuous variation, and two, we have discontinuous variation. So we have two types of variations, continuous and discontinuous variation. We can start with discontinuous variation. Discontinuous variation. Discontinuous variations. So when you talk about discontinuous variation, these are variations among individuals. These are, differences among individuals These are differences among individuals. Can I repeat this? So discontinuous variations are variations in individuals in a given species that show distinct differences in a given characteristics. So these are variations, why am I saying this? These are differences in an individual. These are differences in an individual that have distinct groups. That have distinct groups in a given characteristics. So these are differences in an individual that have distinct groups in a given characteristics. So they only show two groups. There are no intermediates. For examples of discontinuous variation include Examples of discontinuous variation include 1, as I've said, sex. An individual is either a male or a female. So an individual is either a male or a female. We also have another example as 2, blood groups. They lie under discontinuous variation. So an individual can have blood group A or blood group B or blood group AB or O. You'll not have an individual with a blood group in between. It's either you have one of those blood groups, but not something in between, for example, A and B. It's either A, B, AB, or O. No intermediate what? Group. We still have 3. We have tank rolling. Tank rolling. Class, I know you have a tank with you. Can you try to roll your tank wherever you are, in the house or in an office, where you are? So I think you have noted that there's a group that can roll and another one cannot do that. You can either roll or you don't roll. So in tank rolling, that's an example of discontinuous what? Variation. It has no intermediates. It's either you know how to roll or not. Then we still have another one for fingerprints. Fingerprints. I think in fingerprints, each individual has a certain type of what? Fingerprints. For example, we have these 4 types of fingerprints. We have what? Root. We have root. We still have another one known as all. We still have another one known as double all. And we have another one known as arc. So the 4 fingerprints that we have include what? Root, all, double all, arc. You cannot have a fingerprint that is in between. And this is what is used to get those people who are criminals. If you hide and you have your ID, it's so easily to be got because of your fingerprints, because individuals have different types of fingerprint. We also have another example of discontinuous variation. 5. The presence of air. Presence of air in the nose, or in the ear pinna. Presence of air in the nose or in the ear what? Pinna. We have individuals with air in the nose. We also have others with air in the ear pinna, but others do not. So it's only 2 groups, those with air in the nose or in the ear pinna and those without. Another example of discontinuous variation include 6. It includes 6. Baldness. Baldness. I know you know what baldness is. Absence of air in the what? On the head. Some, even in their early age, they have baldness, while others do not. And this one is also genetical, and many other examples. We still have, all these are shown in human beings. All these examples we have noted, we can see them in human what? Beings. We still have examples of discontinuous variation in plants. In plants, examples of discontinuous variation in plants. So in plants we have venation. The leaves have only two forms of venation, either net veined or paleo veined. This is an example of discontinuous variation in plants. We still have the types of leaves, types of leaves. And this one, in the examples we've gone, we've seen that leaves can either be compound or simple, two groups only, simple or compound. And I can give another example in plants. We still have in this plant known as pawpaw. In pawpaw, the plant is either a male or a female plant. It's either a male or a female what? Plant. So these characteristics, continuous variation and discontinuous variation, can be shown in both plants and animals, as we've seen. And then these variations, these differences, are transmitted by genes. They are controlled by one or two major genes. They are controlled by one or two major genes. They are controlled by two major genes. One or two major what? Genes. And then the physical expression of these genes is not influenced by the environment. I don't think a male can change from being a male to being a female. It's not possible. Those characteristics are only they're only controlled by genes, but their physical expression cannot be changed by the environment. All the ones we've seen, the blood groups, you cannot change a blood group A to blood group B. They remain like that because they are determined by genes, but the environment can do nothing to such characteristics. So that's all about discontinuous variation. We can see the other form of variation, continuous variation. Continuous variation. Continuous variation. So in continuous variation, this is the type of variation that exhibits a wide range of differences in a certain characteristic in an individual's characteristics So this is the type of variation that exhibits a wide range of differences in a certain characteristics ranging from one extreme to the other. ranging from one extreme to the other. Ranging from one extreme to the other. For example, if we consider height in human beings, height in human beings, consider height in human beings. Height ranges from the very short to the very what? Tall. And a large group of individuals, they are found in the average height. So there is a wide variety of sizes in terms of height. And if you get the values of height, you plot the number of individuals, you plot them against their height. You'll get a graph like this. You'll get a graph like that, where here we have height in units like centimeters. And here we have what? The number of individuals. So if height cannot be 0, so the first height here can be something like 140 centimeters, and the tallest could be 180 centimeters. For example, in a group of individuals, like in a class, if you take your height, it will range from the lowest number to the highest what? Number. So if you get those values, the values of the students in class against their height, you'll get a graph like this, which is bell-shaped. And the name of the graph is known as the normal distribution curve. The normal distribution curve. Why is it bell-shaped? Because of what we have seen in our definition. Height ranges from the shortest to the tallest. There is a wide range of what? Differences in terms of height. It ranges from the shortest to the highest. So when you plot that, you get a bell-shaped graph. And that graph is known as the normal distribution what? Curve. So other examples of differences in continuous variation include 2. We've seen height as one of it. So the other one is, in human beings, we have weight. So in human beings, we can have another example of characteristic lie and continuous variation as what? Weight. Weight ranges from the lightest to the heaviest. And in between, there are so many individuals. We still have another one, like the skin color. Skin color in human beings. So the skin color ranges from very light to the very dark. And in between, there are so many individuals with different shades of colors. We still have another example as for the fourth example. I can give an example in plants. In plants, we have the following. These ones are in human beings. So in plants, examples of characteristics that lies under continuous variation include the size of leaves, the size of seeds, the size of fruits. All these have different sizes. Then we also have the size of internodes. The size of internodes. They are also different, ranging from the smallest to the size of internodes. We still have size of fruits at maturity, as I've said, and many others. So, characteristics that show continuous variation are influenced by a number of genes. They are controlled by a number of genes, but their physical expression can also be influenced by environment. For example, a plant that has genes for tallness, might fail to grow tall because it is growing in a soil that is not fertile, or it is in an area where there is not enough rainfall, or it is in an area where there is not enough oxygen. So continuous variation characteristics are controlled by genes, and they are also influenced by environment. So in our lesson today, we've seen that. In our lesson today, we've defined genetics, class. I think you can remember what we have said about genetics, the study of inheritance and variation. We have also defined variation. These are both the observable and non-observable differences among organisms of a given species. We have also gone through the two types of variation, that is continuous and discontinuous variation. We say that continuous variation are those differences. They are those differences shown by individuals for the same characteristics from one extreme end to the other. Those differences for the same characteristics with a wide range from one extreme end to another, while discontinuous variation are those individuals with distinct groups. The characteristics have distinct groups. You are either this or that. You are either a male or a female, as we have seen. So I think we've done that. So before we complete the lesson, I would like to give you an assignment. And then if you check in your screen, you'll see some your assignment running, which you'll sit and go through it and see whether you can remember what we have gone through. So in the next lesson, we'll tackle about the causes of variation. Thank you.
So, thank you. Thank you very much, class. I hope you enjoyed your lesson. And thank you very much, Madam Josephine. I really enjoyed my class, and I've learned so much that even intelligence can be inherited, genetically inherited. Therefore, my class or our class, you've really noted that we can transfer intelligence from this class to you as our students. Now this is virtually, this is not genetically. So we'll be proceeding next week with our lessons. We are going to do physics, and then we will also be doing religious studies, that is IRE, Hindu. We also have Christian religious education, that is CRE, and we'll also be handling languages and all other subjects that are offered in high school. In addition to that, we will be paying school fee for our students. We are going to come up with a platform that is being worked on as I'm speaking. In the next few weeks, it's going to be up, and then this platform will help to identify the students once they subscribe to it, where we will be issuing bursaries to our students. We will be issuing scholarships to our students. Your work as a student is just to study. We will get you from all walks of this country, whether you are in Garissa, whether you are in Central Province, Nyanza Province, Western Coast Province, Eastern Province, Northeastern Province. We will get you from wherever you are, and we will ensure that we work together towards education in this nation. Kindly always stay tuned every Saturday for our lessons, and we'll give you the best. We'll also ensure that you pass your examination, that is KCSE exams, by giving you the content. Our work is not only to educate you, but also to train you. Thank you, and God bless you. Tibim. So with Papa Shirandula, may his soul rest in peace, and passing my condolence message to his family, and let's live as a nation, one Kenya, one nation. Thank you.